call the meeting to order. And ask Chief Sutherland to lead us in the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Baxter, acting secretary, would you please take roll call?
Sure. Sandy Smith,
Present.
Scott Dorman,
Here.
Ryan Leahy,
Here.
Jeff Robbins,
Here.
John Smith.
Here.
All right, we'll turn now to the agenda, the approval of the agenda. I'll ask the board members if you all have had an opportunity to take a look at it or speak up if you have not. Okay, does anyone have any comments, changes, questions about the agenda as presented? May I please have a motion to approve the agenda?
I move to approve the agenda.
May I have a second, please?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Right.
All opposed, no. Motion carried. I will now open it up to public comment, and I want to just state that the obvious, that we have sort of redesigned the room. Sort of feel a little more like inclusive and also enable us to see the screen better without turning our backs on you all the time. So that was my comment. Can I hear from any of you who wish to make a comment? Yes, sir.
Hi. I'm not sure what the format is for speaking. I'm Mark Eigel, district president. I appreciate and I want to recognize you for making the decision to set up the room this way. I think it's really important to be able to see the people who are in the meeting, both for us to be able to see the representatives and for you to see us. And I think there's accountability when we look each other in the eye, and I think it brings a lot to the relationship. So I think it's a great idea. I really appreciate. It's a little weird walking in the door, but this feels like it's a conversation, and I think that's how our relationship should be, I hope. I do have another thing that I wanted to ask or perhaps raise before I saw the room, and that was the availability of meetings and recordings. It is difficult to share the information from meetings accurately and fairly in conversation or even in meeting minutes after the fact. And I think there would be great value in the district prioritizing, publishing the recording of the meeting for the public members, even people who participate in the meeting to be able to go back and look and see what really happened or how it went. This is a public meeting, that's a public record. And for the people who can't make it to meetings at 4:30 on a weekday, I think it would be very valuable to now, the past and the future, to be able to see these meetings without bringing a USB drive to the fire station to get a copy of the meeting, to be able to review it, which is the way that I've had to look at meetings in the past that I haven't been able to attend. I think that's cumbersome and it prevents people from participating in the district. So I appreciate you hearing my comments and considering them perhaps for posting meetings, the recordings online for the public to be able to see. Thank you.
I'm gonna actually respond to that. I have no objection to doing that. I would like to investigate whether or not, from an IT perspective, there's any. I don't know how far back we can go, for example, but certainly from today moving forward, I have zero opposition to that. I don't suspect anyone else. I don't wanna speak for you.
it's a great idea.
I do too. I think it's a great idea. So, I hate to add more to your plate, Miranda, but could we make sure that the recordings of the board meetings from now on are posted along with all the other meeting materials?
That the town has a great format for it. I'm sure if we called and asked them what process or how they post it, they'd
Yeah.
be willing to help us. And I would say the
Yeah.
further back we could go with the meetings, the better. I mean,
Thank
why
you.
not preserve the information that we have the most open way we can.
I agree. And Miranda, can you maybe investigate that, or Stacy, just to get a sense of how far back we can go? If it's, I mean, just, it seems like if they're all in one place, it shouldn't be that big a deal to just upload them to the website, but I just don't know how they're stored and how how involved that would be, but I have no opposition to going back as far as we can either. So thank you for that comment. I really appreciate it.
And I suspect that all we have is audio. Is that right? Oh, really?
We've had an owl for a long time.
Yeah, there was one meeting that had some pretty inappropriate fare to post on a website, so that one particular meeting where we were hijacked, or I don't know what they call it, Zoom bombed or whatever they call it, that would have to be edited out of the recording, just because it was not, it was not good. We couldn't post that, I don't think legally, even on the website. So, I think making sure that we understand that date, we might want to put a little notice that that was edited to remove inappropriate conduct, content on that particular date. That was when we got Zoom bombed. You're looking at, remember that? Okay, fine. Okay. Okay, any other anybody else want to add to the recording issue? All right, we will take care of that, and I will follow up and make sure it happens, okay? Any other comments? Yes, sir.
Yesterday, Chief Capo was able to attend his mother's funeral and to have a graveside funeral for her. He was able to speak and share, so I'm glad he was able to do all that. I believe he's coming back tomorrow or the next day. And so thinking about everything that's under investigation and the reporting and all that, would just ask if there is a way to meet with the membership to share information before it goes public. Would just like to make that comment.
I will respond to the first part of yours, and I just ask that if you speak to him again, that you would communicate our sincere condolences as an entire board and on behalf of all the staff that are present, that we're very sorry for his loss and that we wish him and his family all the best during this difficult time. Anybody else? Okay, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda. That would be the minutes. Has anyone not had an opportunity, anyone on the board not had an opportunity to review the minutes of the July 28th, 2025 board meeting? Does anyone have any comments, concerns, changes, suggestions relative to those minutes? May I have a motion, please, to approve the minutes from the meeting of July 28th, 2025 as presented in your board books?
I'll move to approve the minutes of the board meeting on July 28th, 2025 as presented.
Also,
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Motion carried. All right, we'll turn now to the items of business. I understand our accountant is on
Yes.
Zoom. Can you unmute him and not unmute everyone else?
I think so.
Okay.
So far.
Can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah,
Well, marvelous. Is it my turn on the agenda?
let me ask for, board member Leahy, would you like him to first? Would you
Yeah,
like to- Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, yes, you are next on the agenda.
Okay, well, marvelous. Well, sorry I'm not with you guys in person. You're going to giggle. I threw my back out and I currently can't really go very far. I'd like to tell you I was protecting my family from a mountain lion, but that really wouldn't be the truth. It was he was putting my shorts on actually. But yeah, so I threw my back out. Appreciate you letting me call in, and sorry that I can't be with you in person. Another note that I'm going to apologize for, my strong Alabama accent isn't always the easiest to understand through the owl. So if you do need me to restate something, or if you have any questions, please just kind of shout at me. I apologize for that as well. So all that being said, if we could scroll down, I'm looking at, if you can scroll to the report, I believe you have it. Yeah, there you go. So I guess my first point I wanted to make is we did update the financial report per the requests that the board had last month. I guess I'd like some maybe some input into that. So a couple of things that we did add, if you scroll down First page remains the same. Second page is the balance sheet. The balance sheet does show an increase in cash year over year, which is fantastic. We are showing around a $600,000 increase in cash over year, so that is good. That was the same as last month, as in it was the same report. Keep scrolling down, please. Keep going. It'll be starting on page 4. Next one. Okay, so this is the report that you guys saw last month. This was kind of the rolled up income statement for the month. Per the request from the board, we did then also add the detailed report, which follows this report. I think it provides good detail, but it is pretty lengthy. So I guess I'd like, if you don't mind, maybe some input if you found it useful, if you found yourself getting very excited about reading the financial report. I'm not sure. Yeah, thoughts. So this is the summary page, and I'll go into a bit of detail on what I'm reporting there, but I guess some thoughts on what you thought about the detail, which is pages, keep going down. It's about 6 pages. So this is the detail, that's the detail, keep going, keep going. So there was quite a few added pages. Keep going there. So there was quite a few, like I said, quite a few added pages. I'll be quiet. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you find it off-putting? Did you find it useful?
I personally found it useful. I like to be able to see the breakdown each month.
I really appreciated the breakdown. To me, information is valuable, even if it's lengthy and extensive, so I appreciated it.
I agree with that. Absolutely.
Okay, marvelous. So if we go back to page 4, as I'm sure you were looking through it, you're on it, I think. You keep going up page 4 of the report. It will show you some trends, and then you can actually look into the detail right now to see where some of those trends are. We're still kind of getting to understand how the budget was built, as well as kind of when things are being spent historically. I know prior to us, the budget, my understanding of the budget, much I know, the budget was not built into QuickBooks. Go up 1 page, please. Keep going. Keep going. And again. Keep going. One more. There you go. So that one. So what it was showing me and what's showing you guys is that we were under budget on our tax revenue for the month. All of that variance is down actually to sales tax. Both the 1A and the regular sales tax were under budget. So that's why you're seeing a variance on the tax revenue side for the month. Non-tax revenue is about as close as you're going to get when we're guesstimating on budget. But we were under budget by $355. So from the revenue perspective for the month of July, the variance that we saw, which was not favorable, was we were under budget on sales tax. From an expense standpoint, we were actually $32,000 under budget. So that's always an encouraging thing to see when we're under on our revenue, but we're also under on our expenses. That obviously makes it easier for me to sleep at night. Most of the variance you're seeing is in personnel, and most of that variance can be tied to some of the expenses tied to the 1A and the grant personnel. So that's why we were seeing a variance there. And then if you could scroll to page 12 of the financial report. That one. So year to date, you'll see that we're also trending pretty significantly under budget. And most of that is tied to property tax is $15,000 under budget. So in totality, we're $196,000 under budget. Property taxes is holding pretty steady. There's a $15,000 variance. The sales tax is $150,000 under, and the 1A is $4,000 under budget. So those are the 3 reasons why we're under budget on our sales tax revenue. I'm working on, I've got a spreadsheet from Erica, so I'm also going back in and verifying how the sales tax was built in to the budget. I know that Erica had pulled together kind of a percentage of what we've seen historically. I need to verify that that's how it was built in, but we are seeing, like I said, a negative variance on our sales tax year to date. And then we're also under budget on our non-tax revenue year to date. In totality, $200,000 under budget. And then on the expenses, we're 174,000 under budget. You'll see that the majority of that variance is in personnel. Of that 195,000, 111,000 can be directly tied to grant and 1A expenses. So again, we're seeing a little less revenue, but we're also seeing some less expenses. The only other two items that jump out from a standpoint of being over budget is vehicles and equipment. Of that 33,000, most of it is in our support vehicles, which you would see when you looked at the detail. And then managerial is 76,000 over budget. I have fixed the budget actually prior to this meeting. Our professional liability and our workers' comp were being spread out evenly every month. We do, however, pay it at the beginning of the year. So that variance will shrink because we had it every month. We've moved that budget item now to the beginning of the year. That totaled 40,000 of the 76,000. So that's really down to some timing on when we built it into the budget and when you actually spend the money. And then if you could just scroll down, I'll talk about the last quick report. So again, detail, and then obviously I'll be quiet and answer any questions you may have. Keep scrolling down. The other report that we added per request was this one, which is now, I think the request last month, or what I heard the request as being, is you wanted to see our income statement specifically to the 1A sales tax. So now we have the revenue that we've received, which is 1A, as well as the associated expenses are now being classed to 1A, and therefore we're able to pull a report for you as a board that you can see in front of you, which shows the revenue in and the expenses out that are specific to that. So hopefully my Alabama accent wasn't too difficult to understand, and I would happily answer any questions you may have.
I'll open to other board members to comment or ask questions. Anyone?
No, it's a good
No,
report.
I think
Yeah.
good report, thank you. And I'll turn it over to you now, Ryan.
I do like the new reports. I think after we get used to them, we may not need the expander at least every time. I would like the board to review the monthly disbursements. We got about 5 pages there. Starts on page 22 of the financial report. And to get a motion to,
Sorry, scrolling down. Sorry, excuse me.
Yeah.
There you go.
we may minimize this format a little bit moving forward. I'll get with the accountant, but right now I know there's a lot of information on the disbursements.
Like to see you too.
The only comment I would have on that is it says what the bill is and what the check number is. But I don't necessarily mean what that it was for. So do we have more indication what payment was for?
Yes. Yep. You take some out, put some more information.
I mean, we could even do that under description a little bit better than what we
Yeah.
have there, yeah.
I'm not really concerned about the check number, you know, but
Sure.
I mean, you should be as
I-
treasurer, but
I
I'm not
read-
concerned about it. I just want to know what it was for.
I read the majority of these invoices, and if there's something you have a question about, I'd be happy to look in the invoices as well and see what I can do.
Even a short summary blurb type thing that gives us an indication of what some of the things are for would be great.
Okay,
I can work with Erica to see if we can you scroll up a little bit for me? I can work on the memo. I can work with Erica to see if we can have a bit more of a description, because you can see it's pulling the memo description. But to your point, invoice 2025 Q2 EMT doesn't mean a lot. I mean, I'm assuming it's Q2, but we'll work on getting a little more description as to what it's paying.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any other questions for Ryan? Any questions about the monthly disbursements as they are reflected on these in the documents you got in your board book?
No, I just think that if, we did what you just talked about and Scott requested it, we can see what it was actually for instead of, having to surmise what it might be for.
would it be helpful to have a printed version of it for each board member to be able to read?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, or, if we got it via email and
Yeah.
But we could have it printed with the actual agenda as well, so. Would be,
Why don't, people can print it or look at it on their computers. I mean, a lot of people might find it easier to look at on the computers. I know I do, because then I can
Yeah.
make it bigger. Because looking at the printed document is a little, but I think just having the information would be good.
okay,
Any other questions about the, bills, the paid bills? Then can I ask for a motion to approve the paid bills?
I'll make a motion to approve the paid bills for the monthly disbursements in July 2025.
May I have a second, please?
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carried. All right, we'll turn to the reports now. I should start, we'll start with you. and report.
All right, so we have had a couple more conversations about the Safe to Tell program with CPS. We're getting ready to get all those details together to launch that program. Our officers and acting officers participated in a leadership training with a guest speaker, Scott Metzler. It was a wonderful presentation and discussion about the basics of leadership, and we would like to expand on that and keep training our officers and acting officers in their leadership roles here in the department. We have a lot of community events coming up this month. This next month in September, we have homecoming at the high school. So we have the bonfire and the parade, September 18th and 19th. We have our community mitigation day, September 20th. And we have our middle school family night with the egg drop on September 26th. We will be participating in all of those events. So that will be a super fun time. Homecoming bonfires is an exciting thing for us to do because we get to light a big fire and then put it out. So that's all I've got. I'll turn it to Chief Lincoln.
All right, I'll start with the Wildland Fire Risk Reduction Educator, Logan. Has completed 158 home assessments and 12 neighborhood assessments year to date. Has presented at 9 HOA meetings so far this year, so. Continues to get busy, and I would say when we saw smoke in the air a couple of weeks ago, his phone started ringing really quickly. So, even though it's a long ways away. Another reminder, the Community Wildfire Mitigation Day, Saturday, September 20th, starts at 9 a.m. We're partnering with the Estes Valley Watershed Coalition and the Estes Land Stewardship Association to collect pine needles and pine cones. Up to 10 bags per vehicle at the community drive entrance to the fairgrounds. So it's a good time to rake your yard before snow starts flying and get rid of those pine cones and pine needles. Co-swap grant that was funded, the project on Curry Drive and Fish Hatchery is complete. Lamar County Conservation Corps and our 2 mitigation crew members completed about 8 acres of work in 6 weeks. So if you haven't been up there, haven't looked at the projects, they've done a great job and made a real impact. And there was some workforce development with the Lamar Conservation Corps, so it's a great project. We will continue, our mitigation crew will continue to expand on the fish hatchery work over the next couple of weeks. They didn't complete what we wanted to get done, so they will complete that project and keep working on that. But we have about 2 acres on the Thunder Mountain Project, Unit 2, that have been marked along with along the YMCA property boundary with the park, and that's in preparation for the CWDG grant mitigation project. Laura's been working real hard, or Lieutenant Sutherland's been working hard with Team Rubicon. They are expected to be here October 2nd through the 5th. Complete mitigation work on the top of Prospect Mountain around the critical communication infrastructure. And that's Team Rubicon comes in, they're all volunteer. No cost to us. We help them coordinate their weekend. And they get a lot of work done with about 30 to 40 volunteers in a weekend. Longmont Senior Center came up and visited us. It was very well received. They had a lot of great questions, and even though they don't live in our district, they were very interactive, I would say, in that. So thanks to Lieutenant Shepard and lastly, Logan Lastly as well for their help with that. The EVIX Community Explorer Program is the rest of the people that are here right now. So Lieutenant Shepard coordinated that. So they're connecting, learning more about both what both our departments do as well as police department. Police department is here also with them. So a great program. Chief Sutherland's still working on plan review. We're getting plenty of that still, in addition to other responsibilities, providing comments from multiple projects coming our way. Still, as well as attending the meetings she can, to keep up to speed with what's going on in our region. I, myself and Interim Chief Sutherland will met with the board members, Leahy and Robbins, to discuss the 1A funded wildfire risk reduction program. We did that a couple weeks ago. Chief Sutherland is also continuing inspection as needed, mostly new construction, special events. It is special event season, so every weekend till October 4th, I believe. We have a special event in Bond Park. I continue to work on agreements between all the parties affected by the CWDG project. I get the YMCA on board and Lamar County Emergency Services. I get those agreements in place so they can start getting work done. Hopefully that'll be happening in the next couple of weeks. They're committing to 20 acres of project. After that gets solidified, I'll start working on the RFP for the rest of the project. And we'll put it out to bid for next year and the following years, to get more mitigation work done. Tomorrow, I'm participating with Lamar County in Hazard Mitigation Plan update. The kickoff meeting is tomorrow. They're updating the plan that was last written in 2021. Still waiting for the water research report and the RAP plan, or Wildfire Ready Action Plan from the Big Thompson Watershed Health Partnership. Both of those should be completed very soon. We are also part of a grant that was applied for, another CWDG grant. In a larger partnership of, they're calling it Protecting the Gateway to the Rockies project. So it's us at the top all the way down to Big Thompson Canyon. So several partners involved in that. So we'll see where that grant goes. That was submitted recently. Keep you updated as I learn more. And I just jump in and do stations and apparatus too.
Yeah, go
Okay. Pump testing was completed this month. We had one that had to go out of service for a pump balance issue. We're looking into that. Tomorrow we'll go to Garrett, see if they can figure it out. Engine at 71 had some issues. Nobody's surprised about that. But he did get those all repaired. Friday, he got the parts in he needed and got it repaired. So it's back to normal. That was all I have. Thank you.
So for ops and training, busy month. Year to date, we are up 53 calls. So for 2025 year to date, we're at 539 calls. So 53 increase from this time last year. Some significant calls or events we've had. So I think I reported on this last time. We did have the Haber Hotel fire July 25th. Looking at our personnel count, we had 10 personnel respond to the Haber Hotel fire from Estes Fire. And we had mutual aid companies as well. August 17th, we had the Lumpy Ridge fire, which ended up being in Romo's district. During that time, we also had the Alpine Hot Shots responded, and 14 personnel responded from Estes Valley. During cleanup time and with the response and the tones to respond to that fire, a little bit later, we had the fire on Devil's Gulch, where again, crews were rehabbing from the Lumpy Ridge fire. They were in town, everybody was here. We had 20 Estes Valley fire personnel and then 4 from Glen Haven show up to assist that. So just staffing totals, just trying to streamline this a little bit so it makes sense. Total full-time employees, volunteer, everyone, we're at 53 personnel. And then we have 8 auxiliary members on top of that. So projects, just some things going on in the operational side, just obviously continuously evaluating operations in relation to, our guidelines, our overall effectiveness. Obviously, our goal always is delivering services faster, safer, and smarter. And our goals and our guidelines should reflect that. And we're continuously working on those. Implementing or attempting to implement and just working forward a new passport accountability system. I've gotten some bids on equipment to get that done. I'm working on a standard operating guideline and accountability system to work with that, as well as gear inspections, fire bunker gear inspections, trying to stay compliant with NFPA 1851. In fact, I was working on it this evening, a gear inspection form and some documentation for a record management system to get all that and really streamline our system. The auxiliaries have a system now that they use our spare gear. But we've got a couple members with gear that's torn here and there. There's just really not a really streamlined system right now to be fiscally responsible with repairs, whether someone comes up here or we send it out. So those things are in the process. I did get an out of service or in need of repair, kind of isolated shelf out there with a guideline to follow, out of service tags and a communication tree. That way, when things are broken or need repair, they're immediately identified, mitigated, and either put back in service or replaced. That way they're not sitting just randomly somewhere. Events, participated in the National Night Out, with Estes Park Police. They are kind of reigniting the National Night Out. Again, it's a national thing. So participated in that. Great communication, a lot of members from the community were there. We did the after action review for the Haber Hotel. I hosted that a couple weeks ago. And then post that, the Haber family graciously expressed their gratitude, August 13th. The Haber family provided dinner, and some fellowship, with us here August 13th, to all the members responded to the hotel fire. Really awesome. The engine that responded to their fire, we all went out and took a picture of the family and all of us. It was really warming actually to see that. So operations side, that's really about it. Training, again, training is every day, every minute here. Week 4 of academy is completed. I will be taking all the evaluations from the students and meeting with the representative of the personnel, their fire chiefs, to give them an update on what their personnel are doing and how they're doing. And again, since the last report, our department training has been ground ladders, forceful entry, hose deployment, water supply, and ventilation. So that really completes operations and training for me. If anyone has any questions, I'd love to answer.
I have one question, and I'm not sure if it goes to Chief Landcamer or Dillingham or Chief Sutherland, but it was brought up to my attention a while back about hydro testing of our SCBA bottles. I wonder if we got an update on that, where that's going.
Yeah, so we have until the end of the year to complete that. So we have decided to kind of wait until it slows down a smidge before we're sending those out. But we have talked to MES about that, and it is in the works, and we will have that hopefully in the next month or two.
Will they be able to
Plans
come
in
here?
place.
Plans in place.
Plans in place. I think we'll have to do some transferring, some shuffling just for cost effectiveness.
Okay,
But operationally, we'll stay ready. Chief Stacy's worked on, that plan together. So the plan's in place. We're just waiting on that day.
okay, thank you.
And then
So the number of people that responded to the fire events, you gave some numbers. Were those adequate numbers of people that responded to those events?
I would say
Right.
for the wildland fire, according to the battalion chief, because I had asked her for a report. She said that was enough. The one was in Romo's district, so they took over. And then again, we had 20 for the grass fire there by Devil's Gulch. The Haber Hotel, absolutely not.
do we have any further understanding as to why that was?
Volunteer organization.
Any other questions? I do, before we turn to Captain Spear, absolutely, Captain Kearney.
It says Spear on
I want to tell all 3 of you that and I think the entire board has a tremendous amount of respect and appreciation for all the work that you've been doing during this difficult time. I'm especially going to call both you, Chief Dillingham and you, Chief Sutherland, out as being very, very responsible, working hard together, working well together, and doing a very, very good job. And I just want you all to know, I personally appreciate you all, and I think I speak for everybody that we chose. So thank you. Captain Kearney,
I can't follow that.
that's
I don't have anything to report on. Thank you.
it, okay. All right, we'll turn now to the board subcommittee reports. There's nothing to report, I know for a fact on EAP, given just we haven't gotten to that with all the other things that we're doing. But Jeff, do you want to talk about the Prevention and warning.
Oh, well, we,
So-
as Chief Landcamer mentioned, we kind of got like an orientation as to, what they, what they're up to and all that. I personally was pretty impressed with, the whole thing.
All right, so I'll turn now to the personnel issue, the subcommittee on the personnel matter. I am pleased to report that the investigation has concluded and that we will be holding a special meeting of the board on Thursday at 10 a.m. to discuss issues related to the personnel matters. That agenda will be posted to the website before 10 a.m. on Wednesday. And of course, will be distributed to everybody in the department so that all of you have an opportunity to know that the meeting is taking place. And I think that's it. Any questions about that? All right, moving to, and we don't have any unfinished or old business, so I'll call on board members now to state any new business of which they're aware they'd like to see on the agenda for the next meeting. No? Okay. All right, so announcement, the next regularly scheduled meeting will be Monday, September 22nd. Again, as I mentioned, there will be a special meeting of the board. I do want to note that much of that discussion will need to take place in executive session, so please don't be surprised by that. But the agenda will clearly show the statutory basis for the necessity of taking those particular sessions into executive session. But the regularly scheduled meeting will next occur on September 22nd at 4:30 p.m. Do I have any further comments, questions, anything from the board before we adjourn? Or from this, the wrong touch. Okay. Then could I have a motion to adjourn the meeting, please?
Motion to adjourn.
Second,
Second.
all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Motion, I'm sorry, the motion carried, we're adjourned.